Hello everyone, welcome back to Voidheart Studios, and today I am reviewing the Adventure Force Maxim Pro. Yep, I went out and bought both Tide Poll winners because I honestly kind of felt like it was unfair to, do one and then completely screw over the other by doing it way later, because there was definitely a couple of other blasters I wanted to review, because I got the Royale version of the Chaos Orbit. I got the old Nerf Stockade as well, which I really like. But today's video is focused on the Maxim Pro, because I figured I would just go ahead and do both poll winners, because it would be fun. But yeah, this is the Adventure Force Maxim Pro. Let's start with the overview, because I'm bad at doing intros. Up at the front is the muzzle. It does not have an end-strike barrel lug. Obviously, it's a Pro Blaster. Even Nerf's Pro Blasters don't have end-strike barrel lugs, which is kind of stupid. Sorry. It can't take any of the Adventure Force or Dart Zone Scar barrel attachments. It can't take the P car, it can't take the B car, and it can't take the Striker's bow suppressor thing. Up at the top is a tactical rail, and of course the Maxim, like the Striker 2.0, the Nexus Pro X, the Aeon Pro X, just pretty much every Dart Zone Pro Max, whatever the hell they're called, blaster thing, has rail-mounted irons. Seriously, every blaster that company seems to release has rail-mounted irons, which is neat. I mean, because it's nice to have just rail-mounted attachments, but, it gets, just the amount of Pro rail attachments I have is just a little boonswaggling. At the bottom down here, there is also a tactical rail for a foregrip? I don't know, honestly, what you would put down here, unless you use this thing like a pistol and put a laser down there. You use this thing like a pistol or a bolter, and you put like a laser or something down there. Down here we have the magazine well. It comes with a 12-round curved Dart Zone magazine. This is the same one as the one in the Striker 2.0, but it is purple. I like the purple. This will look really good in my Nexus. So, yeah, it's purple. It is a 12-round magazine, but because it doesn't have any little pegs in here to stop the follower, it can comfortably hold 14 darts, despite being a 12-dart magazine. I think it's 14 or 15, if I recall correctly. I will be loading it with 12 for just firing and testing purposes, but it can comfortably hold 14. Behind it is the magazine release, and unlike every other, well, aside from the Venom Pro and the Outlaw, unlike almost every other, Pro primary on the market, this does not have dual mag releases. It doesn't have one set under the trigger here, which is odd. Maybe people or younger teenagers would mistake this for a rev trigger and wonder why their blaster isn't revving, because it doesn't have a traditional rev trigger, obviously. Which I don't know what Dart Zone's aversion is to making traditional rev triggers on their Pro Blasters. I don't think anybody has a problem with it. I know I definitely wouldn't like something like a two-stage trigger where you have to half pull the trigger to rev and then full pull the trigger to actually actuate the pusher. Maybe in a full auto blaster, but definitely not in something like this, which is this is semi-automatic. I actually thought it was just an Adventure Force version of the Dart Zone Max Omnia, but there is also actually a currently out version of the Omnia, which is the Nitro Shot one, and it's like $90. I'm probably not going to buy and review the Nitro Shot Omnia, to be truly fair with you. But anyways, this is actually its own blaster, and if anything, it looks like just a pro version of the Adventure Force Spectrum. Like, find the... That's not a scope. That's a scope. Like, literally... Throw the scope on it. Does it not look like a Spectrum? Like, I'll put a Spectrum up on the screen as well. Does this not look like the Dart Zone Spectrum? Or am I crazy? Like, does this look like the Dart Zone Spectrum, or I'm just going crazy? Tell me in the comments. Say, Alphacus Voidheart, you are one insane excuse of a man to think that this is just a pro version of the Dart Zone Spectrum. But anyways, my weirdness aside, back here is the trigger grouping. Let me turn off the... This is the safety, by the way. If it's in, you can rev and fire. If it's out, you cannot rev. I like to keep my Dart Zone flywheelers in safe, just so the rev triggers don't get randomly engaged by something just sitting on them. Speaking of the rev switch, this right here, this little beaver tail thing right here, it's the rev switch. You press it. And it rev. You hold it to rev, and then you pull the trigger to fire a dirt. Now, what's cool about this blaster is this, right here, this stock, is really neat. And this is why I initially made the, what's it called, the comparison with the Dart Zone Omnia. Because the Omnia has the same thing. It has an end strike stock attachment point, but the stock, but what attaches there, that was a nice sound. Wait, listen to that again. You make a pop. But the attachment is an end strike to buffer tube converter. Like, this will take your buffer tube stocks. Like, boom. That's the Nexus Pro X stock. It'll take buffer tube stocks, but it's also an end strike stock attachment, which is really freaking neat. Like, end strike, yeah. Give my stockade some screen time. Like, just put it on the back of an end strike blaster, and then boom. Your end strike blaster can now take buffer tube stocks. Oh. Guess it just wasn't attached on there well. Weird. But yeah. This thing is really, really neat. And the stock that comes with it isn't bad. I actually put this stock... Hold correctly, sir. The stock I actually put on my striker, and it actually helps with the problem I have with its length. How the stock fully extended makes the blaster a little too long. And it actually helps with it because it's a bit of a shorter stock. And it works really well on this blaster. Feels really nice to use. Up here, actually, above the trigger on the left side, is the door to the battery tray. This blaster is a bit expensive to put batteries into because it takes 8 AA's, which makes it an equal to the Nerf Pro Sender, but this one actually works, might I add, unlike the Sender. But, what is really neat about this is, and I can't really show you right now because I don't have any semblance of a screwdriver on me, and I don't want to fiddle with 8 AA batteries just to put them back in so I can take it to the range. But underneath it, when you pull out a screw that's inside the battery tray, you can get into the internals of the blaster, and there is an XT60 connector inside, which means you can wire up any LiPo or Li-ion batteries that use an XT60 connector, which is really neat. Also, I'm now noticing this blaster is, like every flywheeler, asymmetrical. The battery tray bulges out on the left side and the cage bulges out on the right. Speaking of the internals, I love the translucent plastic. I love how you can see the internals and the inner workings of this little goober. And I love the paint. I love the paintwork for the Adventure Force logo. And I like that they're going with this kind of, I want to say, like, synthwave look that they're doing with the paint job, because they did the same thing on the Nexus X and the Aeon X. And it's really, really nifty and neat to do that. I don't know what these holes in the magwell are for. They're pretty weird. Yeah, overall the blaster is pretty neat. And so yeah, let's take this thing out to the range and see her shoot. Alright, we are out on the range with the Maxim Pro, and so yeah, let's see the distances on this thing. Honestly, I've thought about putting up targets out here so I could, like, demonstrate precision. Thought about maybe putting one out, like, by the step at 20 feet. Who knows? And maybe for Pro Blasters, putting it back at, like, maybe 40 feet. But yep, we got Adventure Force darts. Why we're doing them first instead of last? Because this is an Adventure Force blaster, and I do the branded darts first. Now, I am not going to be speaking until after I have fired a full mag, because I don't want to try to talk over. So, if I'm silent for the entirety of a mag cycle, that's why. Alright. Here we go. Maxim Pro. 3, 2... Actually, let me move you guys over here. Yeah, this is usually where I set y'all, so I actually have room to get my blaster here to shoot. Get it in frame a little. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Alright, I've got 2 left, and I'm going to do 2 angled shots for dramatization, I guess. And they went across the road. I am not getting those darts back, which is fine, because I'm going to go buy some more Adventure Force darts on payday. Alright. That is the Adventure Force darts done. Let me reach in here and get another mag. We got nitro shots. Alright. Nitro shot darts. 3, 2, 1. I love the way the darts just land and they like bounce up like 4 feet in the air. I think that's very silly. Alright, next up we got Dart Zone Max darts, which honestly I've come to the realization are not much different than Adventure Force darts. Might start excluding them from the range footage. I don't know, maybe I could buy some worker Stephans? I don't know. Anyways, we got Maxim Pro Max starts. Alright. And finally, Nerf Pro darts. Should I mag dump these darts? I low-key want to mag dump these darts. Nah. I'll slow fire them. Because y'all have seen a semi-auto blaster mag dump before. It's pretty cool. I'll mag dump the last 4. Why not? Alright. Mag dump. Got a little bit of a... Okay, so if you see them going, like, diagonally a little bit, that's because I'm, like, probably shooting diagonally. I don't know why I'm shooting diagonally, but I don't do spread at long range, because the darts falter when they lose velocity anyways. So, yep. I'm going to go get statistics, and I will see you goobers when I'm back inside. Alright, we are back inside, and the range results were surprising. Now, I mostly use the frames of distance and landmarks in my yard to count my range, which is why my ranges are all approximate. But this is probably the most consistent blaster I think I've ever fired. Like, the shortest and longest of the Adventure Force, Dart Zone Max, and Dart Zone Nitro Shot darts were all about the same. They all got from about 65 to about 85 feet. Which is ridiculous, because, you know, usually with my blasters you see, like... The Adventure Force darts will have like the lowest lows and the highest highs, and then the Nitro Shot darts will have the tightest grouping, and the Max darts will be somewhere in the middle, or then the Max and the Nerf darts, I mean, it'll be like somewhere in the middle. But no, like it was Adventure Force 65 to 85, Max 65 to 85. Nitro Shot, 65 to 85, and then Nerf got 65 to 90, but Hasbro has to be special. Anyways. This is my short dart bucket. This is the bucket I keep my short darts in. See, there are short darts in the bucket. I don't know why I said that. My brain does not like me sometimes. Anyways, how did I like the Maxim Pro? I really enjoy it. I like, you know, just having this sort of compact flywheel primary. And it's nice that it's magazine fed. It takes standard talons, and yeah. So if you find any talons that are longer, like if you get like a 15 round talon mag, or if Out of Darts ever puts their Codas back in stock, that would be nice, because I think they have like 23 round, I think Codas are like 23 rounds, but yeah. Oh, and safety's off. So yeah. Only, like, kind of, not glaring issue, but, like, only kind of issue with this is the noise, like... That's just loud. And, I mean, it makes sense with a pro flywheeler. The the hotter you get with your velocities, the louder it's going to be. And this thing, I think, if I recall, hits about like 150 to 160 FPS. So it's about like a typical entry-level Pro Blaster. I would recommend this to about everybody who's willing to pay the $40 plus the cost of batteries for it. And yeah, this is $40. This is pretty accessible, pretty cheap, and that's nice, because yeah, it doesn't have all the extra fluff that the Omnia does, that stuff being like Select Fire and all that other stuff. I think it comes with like 2 mags, and it comes with its own rechargeable battery. The Select Fire and the being full auto and being like full auto and burst and stuff is why it's $80. But it's nice that you can get essentially a stripped down, better looking, in my opinion, version of the Omnia for half the price, pretty much. Like, I mean, most people are already going to have AA batteries, and if not, you can order like 50 AA batteries off of Amazon for like $15 and be set for life. Like, Amazon Basics batteries are so cheap. I'm going to come into ownership of 2 battery-intensive blasters in the near future, and I may actually review them. And it's nice to know that I can buy 24C batteries for $15 from Amazon Basics, and they actually be good batteries. So anyways, yeah. Get this and some Amazon Basics batteries, and you are set for life in any of your Pro Wars where you just so happen to want to use a nice little short dart flywheeler. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, then, I mean, you know how to support our channel. Like, subscribe, do all the silly algorithm stuff. You know how to support a channel. And yeah, my comment prompt for you this week is, well, what's your favorite Dart Zone blaster? This is like pro, non-pro, so it could be like the Magnum Super Drum, it can be the Spectrum, it could be the Villainator, it could be the Omnia. You could tell me how stupid I am for not really caring for the Omnia. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.